Blood leaves a memory, especially on concrete. It's slow, dark, deliberate, not just a stain, but a warning. And this time, it tells the beginning of a story that would echo down 43 long years. The blood seeps slowly into the concrete, deep red turning nearly black beneath the afternoon sun. It begins beneath Mayme Johnson's dress, at first no bigger than a coin, then stretching outward like it's hunting, inching past the step, slipping into sidewalk cracks, curling toward rainwater that never dried. Just 4 steps, that's all it took. My right hand clutches her belly, swollen with life at 7 months. Her other hand props her on the lowest step, barely keeping her head off the stone. She's silent, don't cry out, doesn't move, just breathes. Short, sharp breaths through clenched teeth. At the top, frozen in place, Vincent Esposito stands motionless. For 3 seconds, he doesn't blink. Then, as his own mind catches up to what his hands have done, he turns. Not a sprint, he walks, calm, hands in pocket, passing by like a man headed nowhere in particular down Lenox Avenue. As if no one saw him shove a pregnant woman down concrete steps, as if her blood wasn't now soaking the sidewalk outside a bustling grocery store. Inside, 6 customers have frozen mid-purchase. Mr. Chen moves first. He's old now, 63, and his spine reminds him of it every morning. He's owned this place for nearly 2 decades, doesn't run much these days, can't afford to, but now he runs. It's the sidewalk next to Mai, kneeling hard on aching knees. His hands flutter uselessly around her, not sure where it's safe to land. Mai, can you hear me? Barely, she nods. Eyes sealed shut. I'm calling an ambulance. Don't move. Please don't move. He pushes off his knees, shuffles back inside. His fingers tremble as he dials. Ring. Emergency services. Ambulance. Fast. A pregnant woman fell. Lenox Avenue. Chen's grocery. She's bleeding. What's the address? He gives it. They say help's coming. He hangs up and stares at the phone a beat longer. He knows how this goes. In Harlem, ambulances move slower when the call is for a black woman. He hurries back out. I haven't moved a muscle. Just breathe. Bleeds. Still has her hand cradling her stomach. He kneels, slips off his thick apron, folds it soft, places it beneath her head. She murmurs something he doesn't catch. The blood seeps wider. People are gathering now. 8, then 10, maybe more. They stay silent. Somehow, the quiet is heavier than noise. In that silence, everything is waiting. Mrs. Patterson kneels beside her. She's seen this before, 6 children of her own. She doesn't talk, doesn't panic, just reaches down to take Mai's free hand into hers. Calm, warm, reassuring. Mai clutches it like a lifeline. At 3:09 p.m., exactly 32 minutes after Mr. Chen made the call, the ambulance creeps around the corner. No lights, no siren, no urgency. It parks as casually as a pickup. 2 white paramedics climb out and walk, not run over. Their faces blank, practiced. They eye the scene. Mai isn't screaming, so they don't rush. She took a fall. Pregnant, Mrs. Patterson informs. One kneels beside her, checks her pulse and blood pressure. Detached, efficient. Don't ask her name. How far along? 7 months, Mrs. Patterson says. 28 weeks. The paramedics shift their eyes toward each other. Chen sees something in that look. His gut drops. They lift Mai slowly onto a stretcher and into the back of the ambulance. Chen tries to follow. Family only, says one. The doors shut on his protest. The ambulance pulls away as slowly as it arrived. Still no siren, still no rush. Chen watches it disappear down the block. And look down, her blood still there, still wet, still fresh, still real. He doesn't touch it. Just turns, walks toward the phone again. Pick it up. Dials. Small Paradise. I need Illinois Gordon. At Harlem Hospital, 3rd floor maternity unit, Mai lies behind a curtain in a temporary room. Cords and pads and quiet footsteps all around her. A black doctor, Robert Freeman, stands at the foot of her bed, mid-examination. He's one of just 12 black doctors across New York, and he works longer, harder shifts than most because too few agree to treat black patients. He's in the midst of checking vitals when the door at the end of the corridor opens, fast, firm steps echoing. Bumpy Johnson strides down the hall, no questions, no hesitation. He doesn't need a receptionist. He was told exactly where she was, because Illinois Gordon is already there, already waiting. "Boss," he says quietly. Bumpy brushes past him like he's part of the wall. Pull back the curtain. "See you." She's awake now, staring blankly at the fluorescent glow above. Her tears swim down, slow and steady, silent. He crosses the room and takes her hand. That's all that's needed. She turns her head and looks at him. Her other hand remains on her belly. She doesn't say a word. She doesn't have to. "They can't find a heartbeat, doctor," Freeman says, his voice razor soft, not cold, not detached, just respectful, careful. "Your wife experienced substantial trauma. The impact likely caused the placenta to detach from her uterine wall. There's no fetal heartbeat. I'm very sorry." My face turns away again, eyes back on the ceiling. Bumpy's face never changes. Not a twitch. "How soon can you deliver?" he asks. 3 to 4 hours. Natural labor is safer, less stressful. "How long's the baby been dead?" A pause. Pattern suggests shortly after the fall, maybe 30 minutes, maybe less. Bumpy nods once, steady, unblinking. She gets her own room. "Maternity's full," the doctor starts to say. Bumpy pulls out his wallet and lays $500 cash beside the tray of instruments. She gets her own room. There's no argument after that, just another nod. "Room 304, third door on the left. I'll have her moved immediately." At 4047 p.m., they wheel me down the corridor to room 314. It's small but private. One hospital bed, one high window, one cold chair beside her, and a bassinet in the corner, empty, useless now. Bumpy sits in the chair, holds her hand. He doesn't speak. She doesn't ask him to. The contractions begin at 5:15 p.m. They come slow at first, scattered and bearable. Dr. Freeman checks on her every half hour. Labor is gradual but consistent. Outside the room, the hallway sits still until 7:30 p.m. When Illinois Gordon appears in the doorway, he doesn't step inside. Don't interrupt. Just waits until Bumpy sees him. Bumpy rises, exits quietly. In the hall, Illinois hands him a folder, precise, organized, thick with certainty. His name's Vincent Esposito, 28. Works for his uncle Marco. Genovese family. Handles protection pickup on 10 joints in Lower Harlem. Where is he now? Home. Or was. Apartment on Mulberry. He left. Probably realized what he did. Find him. Already moving. Willie's got eyes on the apartment. Marcus is squeezing Little Italy. We'll have him by midnight. Bumpy glances back through the small window into 314. "When you find him," he says. "What do you want us to do?" Illinois asks. "Nothing, not yet. I want to be there." Illinois nods, firm. "How's Mai?" Still in labor. And though Illinois' face remains still, something shifts in his eyes. "I'm sorry, boss." Bumpy doesn't respond, just opens the door and goes back inside. At 8:47 p.m., I delivered. Dr. Freeman is there to catch the baby, a boy. Fully formed. 28 weeks. Small but perfect. Except he's not breathing. Dr. Freeman doesn't hesitate. He cuts the cord, wraps the boy in a soft white blanket, and gently places him in Mai's arms. She looks at his face, then at his hands, his perfect little hands. "William Marcus," she whispers. "That's your name. William Marcus Johnson." She holds him in silence for 20 long minutes. Then Dr. Freeman returns. Take him. Carries him to the bassinet. Covers him with the blanket. My face turns to the wall. Doesn't speak, doesn't move, just disappears inward. Bumpy walks over to the bassinet, stares at the child, the son who never took a breath. William Marcus Johnson, born March 14, 1952, 8:47 p.m. Died March 14, 1952, approximately 3:30 p.m. For 5 minutes, Bumpy stands motionless, silent. Then slowly, he reaches down, touches one tiny hand with his finger. Cold, lifeless. He turns to Mai, she's still facing the wall. "I don't want him dead," she says, voice clear, hard. "I want him broken. I want him to need help to eat, to dress, to speak. I want him to be what he killed, helpless, dependent, suffering." "Okay," Bumpy says. "Can you do that?" "Yes," he promises. She turns now, looks him dead in the eyes. Her tears are gone. In their place, fire turned to ice. Final. Make him suffer. Quick question for you. If you were in Bumpy's place, would you have done the same? Or would you have gone even further? I'm really curious to hear your take. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you're feeling the weight of this powerful story, don't forget to like the video. It really helps us out. And subscribe for more raw and untold stories that hit you right in the chest. Let's keep this conversation going. By midnight, they know it all. Vincent Esposito, 28, lives with his parents Tony and Maria at 247 Mulberry Street, second floor. Never had another address. Employed by his uncle Marco, Genovese capo. Small time, earning stripes, protection shakes, illegal gambling, shark loans. Territory, 3 blocks of Lower Harlem. 10 businesses, $50 apiece weekly. His father, Tony, owns Bellinat, an Italian place 20 years strong. His older brother runs Esposito Trucking, 12 rigs, a decent cut. Marco's net worth, maybe $200,000. For crime family, small potatoes. Vincent's routine, Friday collections, Friday night drinks at Johnny's, Sundays with Uncle Marco in Queens. Predictable, safe, until now. Vinnie's exact location? Not confirmed. Not yet, but that's temporary. Bumpy's back room on 132nd Street. Thick air, closed door. Papers spread like a blueprint on war. Eleonora, Willie Lee, Marcus Cole, and Quick Jackson all here. Serious men. "We have 48 hours, Bumpy says. After that, Genovese will sense something's up and move in. So we strike fast." "What's the move?" Willie asks. "Everything. His money, his turf, his reputation. And we take Vinnie. Dead? No. I want him alive. Wants him shattered." "Quiet, Marcus, Bumpy's most calculated man, speaks softly. Paralyzed? Yes. To what extent? Neck down. Nothing below." Marcus pauses. "It can be done. Surgical. You break the C1 vertebra, right where the spine connects to the skull. Clean shot. Cord severs. He lives, but nothing moves. You've done it before?" Marcus nods once. "Korea. Chinese officer. We needed him immobile, not dead. I used a rifle butt. I worked." "Will you do it now?" Marcus looks at Bumpy, voice even. "What did he do?" "He pushed a pregnant woman down the steps. She lost the baby." Another nod. "I'll do it." Meanwhile, Vinnie, stunned and scared, hiding ragged and restless in his Uncle Marco's house in Queens. Marco had called him after word came down, told him to come, tell no one, bring nothing. Vinnie arrived at 11 p.m. Marco didn't raise his voice, didn't strike him, just stared across the kitchen. "What happened?" he asked. Vinnie spoke in fragments. "Grocery store, pregnant lady. She got in my way. I pushed." "Do you know who she is?" "No," Vinnie shrugged. "Just some colored." Marco's hand shot up. "Don't say that word. Not to me. Not now." He leaned closer. "That pregnant woman, her name is Mayme Johnson. She's Bumpy Johnson's wife." Vinnie went pale. "You pushed Bumpy Johnson's pregnant wife downstairs. She lost the baby." Vinnie's tongue failed him. "You know what's coming?" Marco said. "Not death. Destruction. He's going to dismantle everything, our money, reputation, our future, and then he's going to come for you. But you can protect me, right? You have men." Marco's face hardened. "I can't protect you from Bumpy Johnson, not in Harlem. Not anywhere. And even if I could, I wouldn't. You broke the code. You hurt a woman. A pregnant one. A civilian. You shamed the family. What do I do? Pray. Pray that when he finds you, he's merciful. He won't be. It's 2 a.m. Vinnie's in Marco's guest room, pacing in his mind, paralyzed by fear. 6 bodyguards pack the house, all armed. The lights are on, windows locked, doors double-checked. But fear doesn't respect security. Vinnie hasn't slept, just sits upright, staring at wallpaper he can't remember ever seeing before. And then, at 2:17 a.m., the lights go out, not flicker, out, instantly. The guards react like instinct, flashlights, guns drawn, shouting commands. At 2:18 a.m., the windows explode, every single one, simultaneously. Tear gas floods the space, thick, burning. The men have no masks. They choke, stumble, drop to their knees. One tries to fire blind, another runs straight into a wall. They last 40 seconds, maybe less. By 2:20 a.m., nothing remains but wheezing, sobs, and silence. At 2:22 a.m., 4 of Bumpy's men move in. Gas masks. Precision. No words. They sweep room by room. They find Vinnie crawling on the floor, gasping between sobs, reaching for the window like it might save him. Quick, Jackson drags him up by the collar. Vincent Esposito? Vinnie nods, trembling, eyes wide like a child lost in a war zone. You're coming with us. He nods again. No fight. He has nothing left. They bring him to Red Hook, Brooklyn, an abandoned warehouse. No doors unlocked unless opened by force. No cameras. No safe exits. It's empty inside except for a single metal chair bolted to the concrete floor like a throne for the condemned. They put Vinnie in it. Zip-tie his wrists to the arms, his ankles to each leg. Escape is no longer up for debate. They wait. Time ticks slowly. At 3:15 a.m., Bumpy walks in alone. No backup. No warnings. Just the same gray suit from the hospital. Same white shirt, still smeared with Mayme's blood. He walks to within 3 feet of Vinnie. Stops. Doesn't speak. Just looks at him. Vinnie's already crying, so hard that snot runs from his nose and tears soak his cheeks. He can't form words, can't even look Bumpy in the eye. Just sputters, stammers, begs. I didn't know. Please. I'm sorry. I didn't know who she was. Bumpy remains locked in place. It was an accident. I didn't mean. You pushed her. Vinnie stops. Silence falls. You pushed my pregnant wife down stone stairs. 4 steps, that's all it took. 4 steps, and my son is dead. I'm sorry. You're not sorry you did it, Bumpy says. You're sorry she was my wife. If she had been someone else, just another woman, you'd be drinking right now, laughing. Bumpy steps in closer. My wife didn't want me to kill you. Vinnie's breath catches. You know why? He shakes his head, scared to know. Because death is mercy. She doesn't want mercy. She wants you to feel helpless, like her, like the baby, to need help to eat, to breathe, to live. Vinnie's heart is now racing like thunder. He begins to understand. That's what you're going to be, Bumpy says coldly. Helpless, useless, like what you killed. Vinnie begs, voice breaking. Please, kill me. Please, just do it. I don't want to live like that. No. Bumpy turns toward the door. Marcus Cole enters carrying a wrapped bundle, unfolds it calmly. Inside, a 3-foot metal bar heavy at one end, weighted, brutal. He lifts it, tests the balance. Bumpy watches every movement. You've done this before. Not a question. Once, in Korea. It worked. Show me. Marcus walks behind the chair, stands still, then points to the back of Vinnie's head. Right here. C1 vertebra. Break it clean and it stops everything below the neck. But don't touch the brainstem. He'll still breathe on his own. Still understand. Still know everything. Will he be able to speak? Maybe, in a whisper, but he'll know every single day. Bumpy turns to look at Vinnie dead on. Last chance to beg. Vinnie is shaking. trying to rip free, screaming now. Please, I have money. My uncle, he'll pay you. Anything, just don't, please, I don't want your money. Bumpy nods. I want you broken. Marcus steps into place again, measures distance, squares his feet, raises the bar. Look once at Bumpy. He nods. Marcus speaks as he sets his aim. Don't move. If you move, I might kill you by accident. Vinnie is screaming or trying to. It's raw and ends before it starts. Marcus swings. There's a sharp, awful crack of bone hitting bone. Final. Vinnie lets out one single scream and goes silent. His mouth hangs half open. His eyes are wide. His breath still moves, but everything else is still. Completely still. He looks at his hands, tries to move his fingers. Nothing. Absolute nothing. Then his legs. Still nothing. Panic floods his face. He tries to scream again. It arrives as a whisper. I can't move. Marcus kneels beside him, expression unreadable. Take out a tiny flashlight. Check both pupils, they react. Conscious, alert. Then he pricks Vinnie's hand with a pocket knife. Blood beads up. Vinnie doesn't flinch. Can't. Feel that? Silence. No. Marcus touches his cheek, then higher. This? Yes. The break's clean, Marcus says calmly. C1 spinal cord separated from the base. Permanent. Brain intact. My voice is weak. Rest is dead. Bumpy steps forward again. Vinnie tries to speak. Just manage. Kill me. Silence. Then no. You live. You survive. You remember. Every hour. Every day. Vinnie trembles in silent sobs. There's nothing else to do. Bumpy continues like someone declaring law. You'll wake up in a hospital. Won't move. Won't feed yourself. Won't control your body. Someone else will turn you over, wipe you clean, move your legs, because you can't. Vinnie's tears pour without sound. And every day you'll wish I killed you. But I didn't, because that's what I wanted. Not revenge, remembrance, real justice. He looks at Marcus. Clean him up, dump him at the hospital. He's not going anywhere, Marcus reminds him. Exactly, leave him in the chair. Let the world see what happens when someone touches my family. At Queen's General Hospital, the night security guard is mid-shift, walking his usual route around the ambulance bay. That's when he spots the van, black, no plates, quietly idling where it shouldn't be. He heads toward it, waving his hand to shoo it off. But before he reaches the curb, the engine revs, and the van drives off into the darkness. Left behind, alone in the glow of a flickering overhead light, is a man in a chair. The guard approaches, uncertain, gets closer and sees the man is awake, conscious, eyes wide, mouth moving. He kneels. Sir, can you hear me? The man's eyes lock onto him. His lips part. The sound is thin. Help me. The guard sees the zip ties, a cruel joke on a man who can't move. He tugs on them, but they're too tight. Hold on, I'll get help. He runs back inside, and then he returns with 2 nurses and an orderly. They wheel the rigid chair into the ER. Under sterile lights, they get the full picture for the first time. Vincent Esposito, paralyzed, strapped, and sealed in a prison of his own body. Pinned to his shirt is a note, typed and clear. Vincent Esposito, C1 spinal fracture, quadriplegic. This is justice. At 5:30 a.m., the neurosurgeon on duty, Dr. Kenneth Walsh, arrives and reads the intake file. X-rays confirm everything. A clean, expert break at the C1 vertebra, the cervical spine shattered right where skull meets bone. Not shattered like an accident. Cut, clean, surgical. The kind of injury you usually see from car crashes, diving accidents, or high falls. Never from something done with such precision. The nurse beside him whispers, "Can it be fixed?" Dr. Fern. Walsh stares at the film. Doesn't even blink. No. The spinal cord is completely severed. There's no surgery for this. It's permanent. He looks down at Vinnie's face on the gurney. eyes unblinking, lips slightly parted. How old is he? 28, the nurse says. Dr. Walsh stares for a moment, then shakes his head. He could live another 60 years like this. By 6 hours a.m., Vinnie is moved to the ICU. Tubes inserted, monitors wired, IVs, catheters, more machines than man. At 6:15 a.m., the hospital staff digs through his wallet and calls the first number they find. It rings once. Marco Esposito picks up, already awake. "Mr. Esposito," the voice on the phone says, "your nephew Vincent has been admitted. You should come now." March 16, 7 a.m. Marco walks into the ICU. He doesn't ask for assistance. Don't ask what's happened. He already knows. He passes machines, nurses, patients until he finds room 6. Vinnie is there, flat on his back, eyes wide and alive. Everything else, lifeless. Marco pulls up a chair, sits. Say nothing for a moment, just watch. Finally, can you move? Vinnie's lips part. Barely audible. No. Anything. Nothing. Marco nods, not surprised. Doctor said it's permanent. Tears roll down Vinnie's cheeks. I'm sorry, Uncle Marco. Marco stands, looks down at the broken boy who once carried his last name with pride. You cost us everything. The business is burned, our rep ruined. Your father's restaurant now closed. Your brother's truck trashed. And now we gotta take care of you, feed you, wash you, every day, for the rest of your life. Please. Vinnie begs. Marco walks toward the door. Doesn't turn around. I warned you. I told you don't make enemies. You didn't listen. So now you've got 60 years to think about it. And he leaves without another word. Vinnie stares blankly at the ceiling. He tries to move a finger. His toe. A breath. A scream. Nothing comes. No one does. March 17. His mother arrives. Maria Esposito, 61, her face older now than even her age allows. Eyes raw from crying. She sits beside her son and takes his limp hand in both of hers. Vinnie, my baby, what did they do to you? His mouth twitches. He murmurs something she can't hear at first. I can't feel anything. Mama, I can't move. She starts crying all over again. Then a nurse enters. Feeding time. Maria stays as they slide a feeding tube down Vinnie's throat, pumping liquid nutrition directly into his body. She silently watches as they check his catheter, watches they turn him onto his side to prevent the sores from opening again. Vinnie doesn't protest. He can't. Maria watches it all. She breaks, quietly walks out into the hallway and cries. March 25. His father arrives. Tony Esposito doesn't sit, just stand at the foot of the bed. Cool and tired. The restaurant's gone, the health department shut it down. Violations everywhere. To fix it would cost 50 grand, and we don't have it, because now we pay for you. For your care, your hospital, your chair, your everything. Vinnie barely gets out the word, Papa. No. You destroyed everything. 40 years I'd built that restaurant. 40. You ended it in an afternoon because you couldn't keep your damn hands to yourself. Then, with a final glance, Tony turns around, walks away. Don't look back. Don't say goodbye. March 25. They discharge Vinnie, but he doesn't go home. He can't. His apartment? 5th floor walk-up. No elevator, no ramps, no future. He's moved to a Medicaid facility in Queens. State-run, old, underfunded. His new room, shared with 3 others, men much older, some halfway to death. The nurses, 2 at a time. 40 patients on the floor. Shift heavy, bone tired. He's 28, trapped in a body that no longer cooperates. Every 4 hours, someone feeds him, changes him, turns him. In between, he waits, listens, stares. The TV play shows he doesn't pick. The call button's out of reach. He can't scream. He can't move. So, he waits. 3 years have passed. Vinnie is 31 now. But those years didn't live, they just passed. He hasn't moved since that night, no twitch in his fingers, no flex of a toe, nothing. A pressure sore has bloomed on his lower back, deep and raw. It's infected now, smells like rot. The nurses try, they rotate him, tend to him, but 2 hands aren't enough for 40 bodies. He has pneumonia again, the 4th time. It happens when you lie flat too long, lungs fill, you can't cough. You drown slowly from the inside. His father hasn't visited in years. His mother still comes, but only on Sundays. She doesn't stay long. 15 minutes, maybe 20 if her legs don't ache too much. She holds his hand, still calls him my baby, cries. Leaves. Uncle Marco paid for the nursing home in year 1, then stopped. Said the family couldn't absorb the cost forever. Once the last dollar fell, Medicaid stepped in. $47 a day. That's what Vinnie's existence is now worth. The staff means well. Some care, others don't. With 2 nurses for the whole floor, time and compassion get spread thin. Vinnie has no control over anything, what he eats, watches, even how he's cleaned. He lies there, silent, unseen. No name, just the quad in bed 3. The man who can still cry, but can't reach for a tissue. Who can whisper, but only if someone leans close enough to hear the ghost of his voice. He spends days blinking at fluorescent lights, nights wondering how many hours are left until sunrise. And all the while, one truth gnaws at his mind: he's only at the beginning. 8 years later, he's 36 now, still trapped, still silent. And the place has only gotten worse. The previous facility shut down, budget cuts. This new one? Smaller rooms, more beds, less dignity. 6 people share Vinnie's space. 1 tiny bathroom. 1 window that barely opens. The man beside him last week died in his sleep. The mattress still stinks. No rush to clean. The staff will get around to it. Vinnie's father died last year, heart gave out. The weight of losing everything was too much. The family restaurant, closed 5 years prior, destroyed by fines, debts, and shame. Vinnie's mother hangs on, but she's pushing 70. Walk with a cane, can't handle stairs, can't afford to take the bus to visit. She calls now, when the nurse remembers to bring a phone near his head. His older brother moved to Florida years ago, never calls, never write. Vinnie is alone, forgotten by blood, nursed by strangers, alive but not living. Uncle Marco? He's serving 20 years in federal prison. RICO charges. Said it wasn't Vinnie's fault. Said it was just bad luck. But Vinnie knows better. Everyone does. That moment on Lenox Avenue didn't just destroy a life, it infected every branch of a family tree. Now all that remains is this: a man who can't scratch an itch, can't close his eyes by choice, can't fight for anything, not even to die. He's 51 now. What's even more staggering than his age is this truth: Vinnie has now spent more of his life paralyzed than able-bodied. He hasn't spoken in 6 years. Not that he can't. His vocal cords still work. But what is there left to say? His mother passed away in 1972, heart failure in her sleep. She was 83. No one from the family came to the funeral. Just the priest and 2 neighbors. No one told Vinnie until 3 weeks later, when a social worker updating his chart let it slip while flipping pages. "Oh, and I see your mother passed. Sorry to hear that." Vinnie didn't cry. Couldn't. Not anymore. He lives in his 4th nursing facility now, this one in the Bronx. State-run, rotating staff, low wages, high turnover. Nobody remembers his story. Nobody knows his name. To them, he's just the quad in room 7. No visitors, no holidays. Just shift after shift of nameless hands feeding him, changing him, flipping him like he's a task on a checklist. One CNA joked over him once, "Guy's been here forever." She laughed. He blinked, because she was right. Forever feels like now. It's been 38 years. Vinnie is 66, still trapped in that same body, still unable to scratch a nose or close his hand. He's officially been paralyzed longer than he ever had control of his own limbs. His childhood home? long gone. His family, all but dust in memory. His dreams are the cruelest part. In them, he runs, fast, effortless. He's young again. Walking down Mulberry Street, tall, proud, invincible. Then he wakes, and it's gone. He's still here. A whisper of a shadow in plastic sheets. A new social worker visits his room, a young woman, maybe mid-20s. I recently graduated, bright-eyed in a place built for heartbreak. She's reviewing records. So, says you've been in the system since 1952, she says softly, flipping pages. That's 38 years. Vinnie doesn't respond. It also notes your spinal injury was non-accidental. That's rare. Most are trauma cases, fleeting, unfortunate. Not this precise. Can I ask what happened? Vinnie's mouth moves. She leans in, startled. It's been 15 years since he's spoken a word to anyone. His voice scrapes out a dry, brittle whisper. I pushed a pregnant woman down the stairs. She lost her baby. Her husband did this to me. The social worker writes something in her notepad, face unreadable. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. And like that, she leaves. Vinnie almost laughs. Almost. But all he can do is stare at the ceiling, eyes dry, throat thin. She's sorry it happened to him, not what he did. Just sorry for the result. Funny how the world forgets, but he never did. Not once. Not for 38 years. 43 years after the fall. Vincent Esposito was now 67 years old. In its march again, bitter wind curling outside his window, the sky still black in the early morning. A nurse makes her 6 a.m. rounds. Same routine. Same hallway. Same patients. She checks bed 1, heartbeat steady. Bed 2, normal. Bed 3, Vincent's. She touches his wrist. Cool. No pulse. She moves to his neck. Nothing. No breath, no flicker, no whisper of life. Just stillness. She calls the attending doctor. He arrives 5 minutes later, glancing once at the motionless form beneath the blanket. Time of death, 6/2/17 a.m., March 14, 1995. 43 years to the day from the moment Vincent set his hands on Mayme Johnson. Cause of death, respiratory failure. Pneumonia. Long-term complications from quadriplegia. There's no next of kin listed. No one claimed the body. No funeral arrangements. No family calls. The state buries him at Potter's Field, up on Hart Island. No name, no headstone. Just a plot number in a fading ledger. 6,899-1. That's all he's remembered by now, his name stripped. A number in the dirt. Mayme Johnson is 86. Living alone, still strong, still sharp. A journalist sits across from her, working on a memoir about Harlem's past, a history. Mayme lived firsthand. They've spent hours together poring through memories like old photographs. The talk turns to Bumpy, his death in 1968, what came after, and then the inevitable question, is it true about the Italian man who pushed you? I was silent for a long moment. Then, yes. What happened to him? He lived. The journalist blinks, surprised. But the stories say he was paralyzed, alone, for 4 decades. Is that true? It is. He spent 43 years in nursing homes, unable to move, outlived everyone he knew, died with nothing but the ceiling to talk to. A reverent pause. The journalist says softly, "That's worse than death." "That was the point," I replied. "Did you ever regret it?" "Telling Bumpy not to kill him?" the journalist asks. My thoughts, brown eyes darkened by a memory still raw decades later. Then, no, death would have been mercy. He didn't deserve mercy. He deserved to live with what he did, and he did for 43 years. Did you think about him? Every day, every hour, every time I remembered the son I never got to hold. The journalist goes silent. What do you say to that? But Mayme isn't done. Her voice is firm, measured but certain. People think revenge is blood, anger, and fast. But the truest revenge? It's time. It's silent. It's knowing that every single day the person who wronged you wakes up with what they did pressed against their chest like a stone they can't move. She leans back. That's what we gave him. Time. Do you think he's suffered enough? My glance is out the window, her city below still standing. Still hers. No suffering brings back my son. William Marcus never took a breath. Never knew me. But that man, he suffered. That's something. Woodlawn Cemetery, Section 15, Plot 247. 3 headstones. The first bears a name known through Harlem, Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson, 1905 to 1968, Harlem's protector. The second, Mayme Johnson, 1921 to 2009. She survived, she thrived, she protected. And between them, William Marcus Johnson, born March 14, 1952. Died March 14, 1952. Died March 14, 1952. Forever loved, never forgotten. Every March 14th someone leaves flowers by William's grave. No note, no name, but always fresh, without fail. For 70 years, without a single missed year, they appear. Always there, because memory never dies. March 14, 1952. 4 concrete steps, that's all it took. 1 push. 1 scream swallowed by silence. 1 life never lived. And for Vincent Esposito, 43 years trapped in the shell of a man. Not a death, but a sentence. Not revenge, but justice. Not the kind that bleeds, the kind that waits. That haunts me. That makes you wish it would end, but never does. Vincent Esposito pushed a pregnant woman. He killed a child. Justice didn't come with a gun. Justice came with time. 6,891 days of it. That's how long he suffered. That's how long Mayme Johnson made sure he remembered. 4 steps. That's all it took to change everything. The blood may have dried, but the cost never did. Some stories don't end with a bang. They end with silence, time, and consequences that never go away. If this story moved you, made you think, or gave you chills, let us know in the comments. What does justice really mean to you? Is living with the weight of your actions a deeper punishment than death? If you're into untold stories like this, layered, emotional, and real, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that make you feel every word. We've got more coming, and you won't want to miss them.